The Legend of Arsene Lupin, Gentleman Thief, is a tale that has been heard by most, but the truth known only by a few. Opinions are divisive, a playful swindler or a hardened career criminal. One thing that cannot be argued, the excitement of Arsene Lupin and his antics are unrivaled.
They're just paranoid, as if Lupin's going to get anywhere near this place.
I know you keep saying it's an impenetrable fortress, but you've heard the stories.
Don't worry, it's an easy gig. We got our posts, and that egg stays safe and sound.
Gentlemen,
An impossible undertaking for most, a walk. He was triumphant over the trials that had stood before him. But now a combination was all that stood between him and his prize. 8. The terrified owner's only... A quick rummage, and he had what he required. Before he tackled the colossal... The vault stood open like a cookie jar, just waiting for him. Carefully, Curses locked. But for every... Hey! Press! A steady hand and... Of course, it was not the obvious that he was...
Oh.
In all its beauty, the black pearl, what he had really been chasing for so long. All that was left to do was escape. A simple task after the gauntlet of obstacles he had just championed until the alarm.
If an alarm is required. Let me guess. You read that in a newspaper. They also said I ran around in a top hat and cloak. When have you ever seen that?
A little exaggeration never hurt, but it's your story to tell, if you have a different version of events.
If you want the real truth, we'll have to go back further still. Let me tell you about a young man, Bernard d'Andrézy, his investigation and how it led to my arrest. On the second day, at a distance of 500 miles from the French coast, in the midst of a violent storm, a wireless telegraph message was received. Arsene Lupin is on your vessel. First cabin, blonde hair, wound right forearm. Traveling alone under the name Red. The telegram was cut short, but by the next morning the whole ship had heard of Arsene Lupin's presence, and the deck was alive with gossip and rumors.
Can you believe it? Arsene Lupin stowed on board. I heard he once dressed as a Spanish bullfighter and a Russian physician.
Arsene Lupin, the man of 1,000 disguises. If what the newspapers say are true, he could be disguised as anyone.
Apparently, he's traveling under the name R. But before anyone says anything, it's not Roseanne.
The waiter at breakfast told Miss Underdown and I that he had snuck on in the dead of night in a rubber life raft.
Can you imagine it? Daring, dangerous. It's like something out of a storybook. Don't you think, Miss Underdown?
Not a book I'd read, but I can see why there might be excitement around him.
Should we be worried? I have valuables on board and the things I've heard about that man.
You've got nothing to worry about. But Miss Underdown, if you feel
Miss Gerland and I shall both be fine.
Wouldn't it be exciting if I could get a photograph of the famous Arsène Lupin?
It would certainly be some feat, as you said. A man of 1,000 disguises.
No, it wouldn't. As soon as he is caught, he'll be behind bars, where he belongs. Hey, you. Come here a second.
Bernard d'Andrézy. How do you do, Monsieur Rosen?
I see my reputation precedes me.
You did just say your name.
Oh, yes. I'll get right to the point. Miss Underdown. We're both warm-blooded males. There's nothing wrong with a little healthy competition, right, Benny?
It's Bernard. I wonder if I could...
The dining hall is past the cabins.
I was more interested in the ship's unwanted guest.
If he's not fleeing from one job, he's probably moving on to the next. Maybe his target's on board.
You think he's here to rob someone? Would he really go all the way to America just for that?
From what I've heard, he's prepared to do anything to get what he wants.
There's plenty of guests on board that would be the perfect target for him. Who's got the most to lose?
I told you to keep it to yourself.
But you know how gossip travels. It was always going to get out.
I wanted control, how and when. What are we going to do?
Post someone on the stairs guard in the storage room. And another guard in the crew quarters.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Get to it then.
Excuse me, miss.
Oh, you gave me an awful fright.
That's expected with Arsene Lupin on board. Allow me to introduce myself. Bernard d'Andrézy.
Lady Gerland, how do you do? A cryptic telegram comes through saying a blonde man wants to steal all our belongings, and we're supposed to remain calm.
I'm not exactly sure that's what the telegram implied.
Maybe that's because you don't have as much to lose. You mean besides how he's spent his life as a criminal, stealing people's hard-earned money? I've never heard Father say one good thing about him.
From what I've heard, he doesn't care what people say about him, just that they're saying something at all.
And what does that say about him?
Excuse me, Miss Underdown?
The excited man with the camera.
That's me, Bernard d'Andrézy. But just Bernard is fine.
Just Bernard. What can I do for you? I'm traveling to see my father while he's on business with my dear friend, Lady Gerland.
I've actually just spoken to her on the deck. She has some strong opinions about Arsene Lupin.
I'm sure you won't be surprised to find I feel the same.
I'm hardly surprised with what newspapers say.
I'm afraid there isn't much to know.
I'm sure that can't be right. A beautiful, intelligent young woman like you?
Be careful. A girl could get used to such flattery.
Things seem to be going well. This voyage has a lot more potential than first expected. I'm left wanting to know more. Hopefully I'll get the chance to spend more time with her.
We're all on this ship to relax, and having him on board has changed everything.
Only if you let it.
I suppose you're right. Thank you. Now, I have a question for you. What brought you on this voyage across the Atlantic?
My work. I'm a photojournalist, or at least trying to be.
That would explain the camera.
It wasn't my initial plan. But if I could get a shot of Arsene Lupin, it would do wonders for my career.
Go on.
What would you say to you and I trying to find Lupin ourselves? An exciting notion, don't you think?
Exciting would be one word.
You don't want him to ruin your trip. And if we don't do something, who will?
I wouldn't usually be so easily persuaded. Where would we even start? What do we know about Arsene Lupin?
We don't know how he did it, but it shouldn't be too hard to spot. We should look for someone with an injured arm. He's a master of disguise, but we can only work with what information we have. We should look for someone with blonde hair. I imagine there are a number of guests on board with that initial. We should try and narrow the list down.
Very astute, Monsieur d'Andrécy. Bernard. Anyone would think this isn't your first investigation.
There are many things you still have to learn about me. Monsieur Rosen!
Really? The gentleman from the deck?
Arsene Lupin is known as a master of disguise.
Don't hold me in suspense.
Do you think you could keep Monsieur Rosen distracted while I search his cabin for evidence?
And what am I to say to him?
Just be your ever-enchanting self.
That I can do.
Ah. The proof is here somewhere. One step closer to... Oh. Huh.
I think I'm getting the hang of this. Come on, think. There isn't time for me. If this doesn't impress Miss Under... There isn't time for mistake. I think I'm getting the hang of this detect. Come on, the proof is here somewhere. One step closer to proving it.
Huh. Hey.
So that's how the great Arsène Lupin was caught. By two amateur sleuths?
Are you questioning my storytelling?
No, it's just the newspaper reports didn't include anything of your claims.
Claims? It's the truth. The newspapers have never been worried with allowing the truth to get in the way of a good story. The good story I was just getting to.
I just think we'd benefit from hearing all sides of the story. At least about what Inspector Ganimard did when he boarded the ship. This is what I heard.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome you to the United States of America. There will be a minor delay in the disembarking of the ship. A detective has come aboard to take over certain matters with an unwanted guest. Yes, I know. I ask for your cooperation. The faster he's found, the faster we can get you all on dry land. Thank you. This detective better know what he's doing.
It's Inspector. Today is the day. He is on board, and he's not getting away this time. One more failure, and the Commissaire General will have my badge. All right. I am Inspector Ganimard, and shall be addressed as such. Everyone is to remain on board until Lupin shows his face, and I have the coward in custody. I don't ask for much, but I'm asking now. Please, let me catch Arsene Lupin.
You've got him down to a T.
Inspector Ganimard, you mean?
It's like he's here in the room with us.
I've read enough about the frustrating years and near misses of pursuing his rival. It wasn't hard to find his voice.
He certainly wasn't going to let anyone get in the way of him catching his prey.
Captain, I'm sure you're eager to get Lupin off your ship.
Of course, and you're right. This is my ship.
You can save the speech. I don't want your ship. I just want Lupin.
We've narrowed it down to 2 suspects.
Saves me a job. Let's hope the captain keeps it up. I'm going to need to see inside their cabins.
Of course. Which cabin first?
Uh-huh. Huh? Huh? Ah. Just some good old-fashioned police work. Not as clever as you think, huh? There's a suspicious number of medical supplies here, and Lupin is nursing an injury. Plus, he had an appointment with you? I think he's been manipulating you. There's nothing more to see here. Take me to the other cabin. Who said I'm getting slow in my old age? This old dog still got... I'm hot on your heels now. If he wanted to hide his suspicious activities, he's not doing a very good job. Keeping track of passengers and destroying clothes, it all points towards Lupin.
I can't say I'm surprised, given his attitude on deck. So you've got him? Is one of them our man?
I'm going to need to speak to them both.
Detective, I've been looking all over for you.
Inspector. Make it quick.
You can add theft to his list of crimes. He's taken my jewels.
Lupin.
Inspector, thank you for coming.
At your request, Miss...
Gerland, please, you must find my jewels. This morning, I started packing my luggage, and when I went to the safe, they were gone.
Oh, if she shouts at me one more time.
I only left my cabin yesterday for dinner, then came straight back.
Who did you dine with?
My friend, Miss Underdown. She'll tell you I'm not lying.
So, he took his chance while she was at dinner.
Please, Inspector. If my father finds out half of the family's collection has gone missing, and it's my fault, oh, just the thought of it. You can't really suspect me of anything.
It's my job to follow up on anything suspicious.
Suspicious? I was drafting a letter to a friend, and I wasn't happy with it. Is there a crime in that?
Master. You must be Roseanne.
About time.
Took the words out of my mouth. We need to talk.
Yes?
I've searched your cabin.
You've done what?
I've started my investigation. And right now, you're my prime suspect.
The telegram. I wanted to make sure what we were told is actually what it said.
I didn't think that was for guests' eyes.
I can be persuasive when I need to be, or at least my wallet can. But like I told everyone, I am not Lupin.
That settles it then. Your innocence is proved.
Inspector. You mean how they run, or...?
Just tell me who will have the answers.
The porter's in the storage room. It's his job to know. It's called first class. I believe Miss Underdown is still with her male companion in the tea room. I presume the sobbing from the cabin is Miss Gerland, and Mr. Rosaine is on deck.
Your crew? And a certain major?
My first mate is in the crew quarters, and a porter is working in the storage room. Ah, yes, you mean Major Rawson. He's actually been in the infirmary with sickness since our first day at sea.
Oh, nice of him to tell me now. Oh, when will this incompetence end? What is that god-awful smell? It smells like...
Death. Oh, and lucky me gets to clean the trail all the way to the cabins.
Oh, there'll be people jumping overboard.
I'll be the first.
Oh. Uh-huh. That would be obvious to anyone. It's called common sense. There's that. I need to ask you a few questions.
Go on. I wouldn't say suspicious. He was just one of the crew. I hadn't seen him before.
Arsene Lupin is on board, and you didn't think it could have been him in disguise?
If it was him, he didn't seem like a bad guy. Quite polite, actually.
Not a bad guy. When will people realize he's just a criminal who speaks like a gentleman?
With your build?
Just answer the question.
You could if you wanted, but I wouldn't recommend it. I've only just fixed this one.
So, it could be done,
There was no relaxing for him on board.
Inspector Ganimard or Arsene Lupin?
Both, it would seem.
Both living up to their names, just in different capacities.
I presume Inspector Ganimard wasn't having as much fun, though.
Oh. Huh? I need to ask you some questions.
Of course, Inspector. Nothing. Wish I had, though. I could do without reward money.
Not bothered about stopping a notorious criminal?
And that too.
Inspector, the guests have one key to use during their stay, and I have the master key.
What now?
Well, it's gone missing. I've got everyone looking for it. My first mate says he gave it to me. I don't know why he'd lie to my face. Check the key log if you don't believe me.
So the captain is too incompetent to even hold on to a key. Maybe the vents aren't how Lupin's been sneaking around. I need to confirm some details about your movements.
The great Inspector Ganimard.
Do we know each other?
I'm Bernard, just a fan. I followed your career for years.
Right.
Oh, let me see. I spoke with some of the other guests about Monsieur Lupin, then dined with Miss Nellie and her friend. After dinner, Lady Gerland left, and Miss Nellie and I spent some time together on the deck.
I hear you consider yourself a bit of a Gustave Le Gray.
We may be in the open ocean, but there is beauty all around us. You must just look for it, Inspector.
I've got a pretty good idea what beauty he's seeing, and it's nothing to do with the open water. You're Miss Underdown, friend of Gerland. I need to confirm some details.
Yes, anything I can do to help, Inspector? Yes, Bernard joined us too. He's another guest. He's been keeping me company. I was surprised Mr. Rosaine wasn't there at dinner, actually.
People are noticing. Looks like someone's getting sloppy with their execution. And after dinner, did you see Rosaine then?
No, Bernard and I were on the deck. I left him there to retire to bed. He wanted to get a photograph of something. I didn't see him either. On second thought, I don't think I've seen him the whole time we've been at sea.
Hide all you want. There's nowhere to run when surrounded by open water. Who said I'm getting slow in my own... Huh?
Have you found them? I've had the only key with me at all times. Father told me to keep it close.
Good advice.
He also said to write down the safe combination so I wouldn't forget it. Fat lot of use that did.
Don't go far.
Yes? I presume you mean my investigation into Arsene Lupin's identity? I had to do something. I couldn't let everyone carry on thinking I am him. There's a simple explanation. They were covered in hair dye and were stinking out the cabin. Good enough for you?
It would explain.
She noticed?
As Arsene Lupin strikes, you're nowhere to be seen?
It wasn't really my choice. The captain made that decision for me. He got it into his head I was Arsene Lupin and locked me up.
What proof did he have?
None, and that's why I'm free. What proof do you have?
No further questions.
Oh, part of me feels sorry for the inspector. He really had his work cut out for him.
What about Monsieur Rosen? He was the one being accused again.
And Mr. Rosen was the obvious suspect. The inspector obviously thought similarly.
Speak to the captain. Maybe he can explain what was going through his head.
Why am I not surprised the captain left something else out?
Inspector, I was given evidence that proved it. Suggested it.
Where is this evidence?
I think it might still be in the crew quarters.
Oh.
How can I help? Look, I put my hands up. I lost the storage key, so I signed out the master key.
And then you lost that as well?
No. Captain asked for the master key. I gave it to him. The end. Now he's trying to say I didn't.
It's a case of he said, she said. All I know is someone's lying.
Watch. I don't know what you're I've been saying that to the captain for ages.
And he hasn't provided one?
He's as stingy as he is stupid.
He's obviously thought about it for some time.
On my wage? Not likely.
He's disgruntled about his wage.
Mine's a mess. Just give me a second to tidy up.
Oh, that won't be necessary. Unless there's something you don't want me to see.
I need to...
Bingo.
I didn't steal it, I swear. A guest, Bernard, gave it to me, and when I found out it was the captain's, I panicked and I hid it. I was going to return it.
Looks like young Bernard has some explaining to do.
What can I do to help? The one I gave to the first mate?
So, you admit it?
I admit that I gave it to him to add to the lost property. Is something the matter?
Something will be when I get my hands on it. Oh.
Yes? Besides my honor, dignity?
I meant more like a diary.
My pocketbook? Where did you find it? You found it by chance, didn't you?
It's Inspector. That... No wonder he's... Master... This old dog's still got some new tricks.
Yes? That's ridiculous. It was the night before I was arrested, not last night.
But you said the captain had you locked up. Why didn't you correct me?
I thought you would have known. Lupin mugged me in broad daylight yesterday. I was found unconscious in the storage room.
Yet another time where I'm a puzzle piece short because people refuse to cooperate. I need to review the facts.
No, it all happened so fast. But I would look at Bernard. From my own investigation, tracking, I've never seen him go to a cabin. I'd bet money that he's Lupin.
If that's true, I might have my prize yet. I should check the guest information. Huh? I'm hot on yours. Not as clever as you think. That would be obvious to anyone. Just some good old-fashioned... This old dog's still got some new tricks. You're supposed to be an How does he... carry on like this? Get your head. Master thief. Not as clever as you think. It's going to be... There's that. Oh no. Get your head. Carry on like this. I'm hot on your heels now.
Huh?
Inspector, judging by the sun,
I already know.
I didn't want you to think any less of me. It went missing while Mr. Rosaine was in custody. That's why we released him.
found them yet? Now who's shouting?
You told me you only left your cabin once. I want the truth. Who were you meeting?
It wasn't that thief, I promise. I met with a man after dinner last night. No one can know that I'm courting a commoner.
As if I care about her love life. What I do care about is another window of opportunity. It's going to be... You're supposed to be it. Just some good old-fashioned. It's called commons. How does he? That would be obvious to anyone. It's time. I want everyone gathered on the deck. Miss, if you don't mind.
I'm escorting Miss Nelly. As much as we've enjoyed the excitement of the voyage, we should be going.
No more. You are Arsene Lupin, and you are coming with me.
Lupin? Here? Where?
He can deny his identity all he wants. I've got the evidence to see him locked up for the rest of his days.
It It was the captain's?
You can stop the amateur dramatics. You gave it to the only first mate in history stupid enough to leave his captain's stolen watch in his own locker.
Oh, really? He was trying to set me up.
I was trying to help you. If you thought about anything besides money for just a second.
That's rich.
I didn't think I would be arrested for trying to help an inspector.
You were helping no one but yourself, with Roseanne as an easy target.
Pardon?
But the kicker was the camera roll. How could you have gotten into his cabin to take the photographs?
Have they been recovered?
I'll find them, don't you worry. I know when you took your opportunity. After I finally got the truth out of her.
I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. The inspector's just annoyed that he had to do some actual police work.
And there he is. Keep calm. There's no reason to lose your head now. Quick, say something smart. Arsene Lupin? Let's take a walk. Nailed it.
You are a fool, Lupin exclaimed. Arsene Lupin sailed under the name of Yes, another of your tricks. A false scent that deceived them at Havre. You play a good game, my boy, but this time luck is against you, the inspector barked. His arms were brought behind his back, and with a clink of iron, the once elusive and master thief Arsène Lupin was marched from the ship with a rather pleased Inspector Ganimard following close behind. And that's how Inspector Ganimard finally caught his white whale.
For starters, the inspector might consider himself a behemoth of a man, but he certainly didn't lord over me like that. Just the thought of such an image makes my hair stand on end.
But it was you the whole time? Disguised as d'Andrézy?
I can't say that was the case for the whole voyage. Where would the fun in that have been?
You were disguised as someone else? But Oh, my head is spinning.
You wanted to hear the events aboard La Provence? Well, here is my truth. Let's pick up where Bernard left off.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. You may have heard rumors around the ship about an unwanted guest. I can assure you there is nothing to worry about, and the matter is all in hand. Not that there is a matter to be in hand. Thank you. How's that? You think they believe me? You liked? Yes, it's still on. It's what? It's what?
The captain obviously received my camera roll and note.
Bernard, did you hear that?
Sorry? Oh, yes, I suppose you don't really know anyone. I just had a feeling about Monsieur Rosen.
I wouldn't have suspected a thing without Bernard here. You were right. The whole thing was exciting.
Without your skills of distractions, I would not have been able to search his cabin and learn the truth.
I'll just go and sit alone with my jewellery now we know it's safe. I'm obviously just getting in the way.
There's no need for that. Please, just wait.
A little over the top, if you ask me. Although, the mention of her jewels is rather tantalizing. This may require further investigation.
May I ask, why target her?
You must have forgotten her previous insult.
To you?
To Bernard. Maybe that's because you don't have as much to lose.
And that justifies stealing from her?
Rudeness is the weak's imitation of strength. How else was she to learn some manners?
What can I do for you? I've had it for weeks. I think it's getting worse.
A doctor would supply you the necessary medicine.
Do I look like I've got 1,000 francs to hand over to a doctor? Just grin and bear it.
Coughing in guests' faces is hardly grinning and bearing for anyone.
You didn't have... I thought you were going to help me instead of gallivanting around with that man.
I said I would, and I will. Do you have your note ready? And you've agreed to meet?
I've made it clear that I must see him urgently.
Very well. Stay here in your cabin. I'll make sure it reaches him.
A secret meeting. A romance, perhaps? She's mentioned a hymn. I need to find out whose hands that note intends on reaching.
Bernard?
Oh, I was just
It's fine, really. She's just feeling a little under the weather. I spoke with the nurse on board, but they're running low on medicine.
A ship this size with no medical supplies? Does she need them urgently?
I'm sure she'll survive. It sounds like Major Rawson was hell-bent on using everything for his seasickness.
I wonder if Major Rawson has any medical supplies left in his cabin.
She's asked for some space, so I'm going to take the opportunity to relax in the tea room.
Oh. Oh. Ah.
Ooh. Heh. Aha.
Okay, I'll keep this short. Mr. Rosaine has been detained until further notice. Let's keep this to ourselves for now.
You caught him? You've got Arsene Lupin locked up.
Keeping it to ourselves means not talking about it. Got it?
Hello again. While standing outside in the fresh sea air.
In the cabins, I mean. I'm just curious.
One of the weirder requests. I don't know everything, but I'm fairly sure each cabin is only connected to one other cabin.
If I can find a layout of the ship, I might be able to work it out myself. Ah. Operation Impress Miss Nelly is in full swing. Do I dare push my luck?
Bernard! As have I.
Okay. A good...
Likely looking after my friend. She's still not 100%.
Getting Miss Nelly alone, maybe...
Just the two of us? Sounds perfect.
Huh? Huh.
Really? You think... Back to the drawing. Maybe I should just...
Oh,